Hello everyone, my name is Wale Farron. I'm a tech entrepreneur and you are watching another episode of Tech Roundup, your weekly opinion, views and analysis of the top tech events happening around the world with a focus on Nigeria. On today's show, Jenny will be discussing the INEC plan to introduce online voter registration in Nigeria. And our guest this week, Fadi Ogunro, who is the CEO of Bookings Africa. Please stay tuned as always to Tech Roundup Weekly.
So, INEC will be introducing an online voter registration exercise in preparation of the 2023 general elections. A statement by the Commission revealed that Nigerians can register for their PVC online, but the biometric data capturing will be completed at designated centers. So basically, the capturing of their fingerprints and their faces will have to still be done in person. And I personally feel like this is long overdue. I mentioned the US, they've been doing this for a while, but even if let's not even talk about a country as huge as the US, the Philippines, and even Ghana, that's just really close to us. They've done this for a while. So I'm like, this is long overdue for Nigeria, and I feel like it's out of efforts to mitigate the spread of the virus that they've decided to come up with this strategy, and I truly commend them for that. But however, I have a few concerns about the story, about the strategy. First of all, level of achievability. And what I mean by this is we have to consider the fact that there's limited internet reach in this part of the country. In the country generally, there's limited broadband reach. Yes, for people in Lagos, Abuja, basically urban areas, they might not find it difficult to do what they have to do to register. But people in rural areas it might become a bit tougher, right? What are they going to be doing to help or make it easier for these guys to do what they have to do when it comes to their PVC registration? The spread of the coronavirus. Yes, I understand that this is an effort to limit the spread. However, in the end, people still have to go in person to capture their biometric. So it's still going to be a matter of crowded places, and let's be real, Nigerians are still not fully compliant with the PSAs and the information that's out there on how to protect yourselves with coronavirus. Yes, there's the vaccine right now. Yes, there's also much information on radio, on TV, on billboards everywhere. But still, let us be real, Nigerians are still very, very careless with their behavior when it concerns the coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah, so for me, my response to this is honestly very simple. I could say 3 letters and that's it. NIN. Do we have a success story yet from the NIN registration exercise? The answer as at the time of this recording is a big no. I think it's progressing, but I don't think that it is up to a level where we can say, oh, this is a success story. Let's begin to replicate this in other parts of governance or citizenry, or let's start to get this into our election process. When I think about election and technology, I think about the recently concluded election in the US and Dominion system. This is a platform that the US has used for several election cycles. They are still coming up with new lawsuits. There was one that came out recently suing the Fox News for 1.6 billion because they were talking about election fraud and the voter system. And the claim is that this was the fairest election in modern history in the US and all that. But because technology was involved, allegations like this could come up. In Nigeria, in terms of using technology to do stuff, everyday stuff, we're still behind. Now, taking technology to an election process where we don't know the level of security we might have, where people can hijack those registration and turn them into registration assets that can be used during election itself. When we're still trying to figure out, when we count 10 people, are they actually 10 people or 10 plus X added to it? it's just going to create a mess, and make it easy for people to say, oh, it was because of the election, it was because of technology, this guy's rigged stuff, that guy, I just think that I understand the principle behind this, making things easy, making it accessible to others. Jenny was talking about rural areas. I think we've cracked that. You can possibly use agents to make this easy for people in the rural areas to walk to an agent to register. But as appealing as this sound on trying to bring new people in and make it easy for people, I think the potential bad side of this is so much more. I can continue to count it and list it, that I just don't know how this is. In my own opinion, I just don't think we're ready for this.
I am a little bit more optimistic than you are, Wale, if I must chime in. You're probably correct, but I just like to think, do you know what? What if, I think it would work as a hybrid? Because someone like myself, I'm not in the rural area. I might have traveled and I still want to vote. Wale, we travel a lot as well. So just that convenience to know that I can still participate in the election process from the convenience of, wherever I am. However, the process, I think if they're going to start from scratch and to build their own system, and then you have to I think that's where it's flawed. I think that if we were to go to, let's say, for example, inec.com.ng, and it then just asks me for my name, to put in my BVN, maybe my NIN, whatever they already have, and then pull it up. Yes, that's who I am. I agree. And then that BVN or that NIN is locked and nobody else could use that. So if anybody else does want to register again, it comes up and says this has already been used. And maybe even something as simple as, is this who you are? Then you maybe take a selfie verification. So I think if they just do like a literal 2 or 3 step, so it's very quick. I do, of course, have logical concerns like who's actually going to build this platform, where they store in the data, because the security of the data is the biggest issue that I'm most concerned about, because anybody can have access to the data if it's not well secured, and then that's a complete different security breach, another whole story beyond voter fraud, beyond election fraud. Wale, to allude to your point that people might blame technology for incorrect numbers, people blame human error for incorrect numbers, or they didn't count it properly, they were double voted, there was da-da-da-da-da. So we already have that anyway, so that's not going to be anything new. My thing is, it's just for the convenience is what actually seems appealing to me, but I do think that like I said, the issue around data breaching and data security is the biggest concern that I have. And if they could, give it over to you, I'm sure you should be able to sort that out for them.
No, I don't want that job. That's it's bigger than my pay grade. We'll watch and see how this plays out. Now we'll take a short break for highlights from this week in tech. This is Tech Roundup Weekly. Enjoy. That's all we have time for on Tech Roundup this week. You can catch a full episode of Tech Roundup every Sunday on Pop Central TV on DSTV channel 189 at 6:30 p.m. every Sunday. Have a great week, guys. Until next week, good night.